What's going on, everyone? So, Isabel May has been cast as Sidney's daughter for the upcoming Scream 7. Did a whole video detailing that. But, like I mentioned, 24 years old. She is an actress that has a huge responsibility on her hands. You're talking about, one, the potential future face of this franchise going forward, right? I mean, it is very possible that if this movie has success and if they hit on Sidney's Daughter, that they very well could use that actress, Isabel May, to kind of carry the franchise going forward into 8, 9, 10, 20, however long that we do. And we could, who knows, maybe get another 25 years of Isabel May as, you know, the Sidney type character going forward. But beyond that, the other side of that is that, oh yeah, by the way, it's Sidney Prescott's daughter. You're talking about the Scream was built on Sidney Prescott. Obviously, Ghostface is the imagery and, you know, the most recognizable for people. But Sidney Prescott, she is it. She is the it girl, the final girl, the character for Scream. That's been one of the or outside of Gale, it's been the most constant, right? And so now you have an actress that is going to play the role of her daughter when we never even knew she had a daughter. We never even knew she had kids. Like, that's something that they established in Scream 5. Like, this is such a huge story point that there is, I think, a lot of pressure on maybe not so much the actress, I'm sure, has some form of pressure, but more so from a writing and storytelling standpoint, character development and whatnot, right? I just think that there's, like, they need to make sure that they write this actress in her role good, right? Obviously, the actress in Isabel May, she needs to deliver and hit on said acting role, but still, right? Like, you need, an actor is only as good as the, you know, the story and character that they are given, right? Like, they need to be able to trust the writer and the work. But question becomes with Sidney's daughters. And look, she very well could and will have more daughters in this film. We know she has at least bare minimum 2 daughters, right? And then she has the baby that was in the stroller, right? When she was doing her run in Scream 5. So she at least has 3 kids. I mean, even if you like look it up, it says she has 3 kids, but, you know, I mean, technically they could kind of work it however they want, right? Because yes, she said she had the one baby in the stroller, and then she said, oh, before I got to go get the girls to school, right? Like, that could mean anything. She could have 3, she could have 5. I mean, there's people that have 4 or 5 kids, and they're all girls, right? Like, so, again, they could technically go about it however they want. However, I think that there'll be probably 2 daughters, and then the baby in the stroller. And question is, how old are her daughters going to be? Well, we know what one is, and that is Isabel May. So Sidney's daughter, played by Isabel May, is confirmed to be 17 years old during the events of Scream 7. So Sidney's daughter is expected to be 17 years old. It also seems that her boyfriend, that we're going to have the boyfriend route. And again, I did another video on this as well. So if you're kind of curious as to, like, okay, well, you know, what about her boyfriend? Go check out that video. But Cassian, I believe I said his name correctly. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But Cassian Bilton is the actor that is expected to play Sidney's daughter. Now, you're going to have that 17-year-old. You're going to have, well, Isabel May, like I said, is 24, but she's going to be playing a 17-year-old. So you have the 17-year-old, right? So you have an actress who is portraying a character that is very Sidney, right? Sidney was 17 at the time, right? Like, so you're talking about the parallels between 96 and now, between Sidney and her daughter. you had Billy Loomis, and now you have this guy, Cassian, who's going to play whatever the character's name is. We don't know what the character's name is. Sidney's daughter's name is supposed to be Tatum, right? The oldest daughter, which I imagine Isabel May is going to be the older daughter. The other daughter is probably a couple years younger, right? I mean, technically you could have another, again, you could technically have a daughter older, you could have a daughter younger, right? But the actresses that have been linked to playing Sidney's other daughter have all been younger, and I imagine are probably going to be younger. But it is a question kind of worth asking of like, okay, they can technically make this work any way that they want, right? Because if you're going off of the timeline, Sidney and Kincaid would have at least started dating around the year 2000. So, I mean, if they got jiggy with it pretty quickly, right? And the kid could be as old as 24. So the child could be, her oldest could literally be Isabel May's age, right? Because you got to account for 9 months and all that stuff. So they could easily have, Tatum be 24, and then Isabel May's daughter could be 17, or one daughter's 20, one daughter's 17. But my guess is that Isabel May will probably have her boyfriend. She'll be 17. The other daughter will probably be like 15, something like. They'll probably go to high school together, or maybe one's a freshman, so maybe one's, 13, 14, right? So you have like one daughter 14, one daughter 17, and then the 17-year-old has her boyfriend and Cassian, and trying to navigate that, and trying to have similar parallels again to 96 and Sidney Prescott with Billy Loomis. Like I said in that video where I talk about the boyfriend, whatever you do not make the boyfriend the killer again, please, for the love of everything. Right? Like, that's the last thing we need, is the boyfriend to be the killer again. We've already had that enough with Billy and Richie. We don't need whatever, John to do the same thing either, right? Like, if you want to make him a red herring, if you want to make him kind of questionable and sus, I don't even hate if, like, at the end of it, you're kind of like, is he good? Is he evil? Was he involved? Was he not? Right? Like, kind of leave it to the audience to interpret. Leave it to the audience to kind of, theorize. Okay, is he evil or is he not? Kind of like, like what happened with, like, Danny and Sam, right? But regardless, you have this opportunity through Isabel May to kind of have this new kind of sister dynamic, even, right? You could have her and her sister, just like Sam and Tara, right? And they had their sister dynamic, right? Like, you kind of just go from that to, like, now it's Sidney's children, and now it's Sidney's daughters, and and like I've said, this is a huge opportunity for Scream, and a real opportunity to kind of give us something different. Right? We've never had this opportunity before. Scream has always been very family, right? Scream has always had, like, that family dynamic, but this is the first time that we've actually had, like, or we'll have to see if it actually plays out like that, but this is, or appears to be, the first time where we're actually going to get a Ghostface targeting a family specifically. And you have the mother and the husband and the children all being targeted and having to survive Ghostface and his attacks, right? Like, that, I think, is very exciting and something that we haven't gotten. That adds another layer to Scream, potentially. Oh, and by the way, it's Sidney Prescott and her family, right? Like, it's just, it's a real opportunity here that I really hope that they don't fumble. I really hope that they don't drop the bag here and kind of go about it. Look, Scream 5 and 6, if we're being honest, wasn't the best written, right? The character development and storytelling wasn't the greatest. I enjoy the films. They're entertaining, they're fun, but the character development was so bad. People hated Sam, right? Like, that's not good. Like, she was supposed to be the face of the franchise going forward, and the fandom couldn't stand her, right? Like, so I really hope that they don't that history doesn't repeat itself with Isabelle May and whoever the other sister is. I hope that they do a good job of, really driving home what you need to drive home to get people to buy into these characters. Because I do think there's a lot of opportunity here, a lot of potential. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think that, like, yes, this is huge, this is great, 17 years old, that means she is young enough and kind of fits the timeline for, like, when she was her age, and, do you think that this is the older daughter, the younger daughter? Do you think that maybe they'll have an older daughter who's 24 or something like that? Or do you think, like, no, it'll be like a 17 and a 14, or 17 and a 15-year-old, something along those lines? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.